Hi, my name is Sohail, and this is my Adobe Captivate sample work. I'll be taking you through a quick tutorial of Photoshop CS5 image retouching. During this tutorial, you will learn the basic, intermediate, and some advanced techniques of working with Photoshop CS5. The project will be based around retouching a face and its background image. These techniques are usually used to fix and enhance an image after a photo shoot based on different requirements. You usually see a lot of retouching in beauty ads, for instance. But I will be taking on a more fun route and will be retouching one of my favorite actors, Robert De Niro's face for you today. But before we start, I need to know how good you are at Photoshop CS5. Hi, so you are a basic user, and I think that's absolutely fine. We're gonna go through some of the basic elements of working with Photoshop today. First thing first, I actually have gone and basically downloaded an image of Robert De Niro on from Google. I actually thought this would be a good image to basically work around with because of a very kind of a dark background. I'll show you the details later on. Now, if you have Photoshop installed already on your computer, what you need to do is you need to just drag the file onto the PS icon, and automatically the file will open for you. This is how you open a file in Photoshop. You can also do it through open that you have on file, or even new one. We don't really need to open up a new document or create a new document from scratch now, because we're going to be working on this image that we have already gotten. We will be going through some of the tools on the side. Now, what I need to basically emphasize on is the importance of layers on the Adobe basically suites. Whether you're working on Photoshop or Illustrator or what have you, you need to pay a lot of attention that everything is basically layered in Adobe. This file is basically saved as your background now. You can see the lock button there. All you need to do is that you need to unlock it so you can actually play around and modify it. It would ask you to basically create a new layer, which we're going to go ahead and say okay to this. Now, as a backup plan, I always recreate a duplicate of the background. Just as a backup plan, in the middle of a work, you don't want to come back and actually have the original find kind of messed up. All you need to do is just drag it and drop it down to a new layer, and here you have a copy. What you can also do is you can go and just create a transparent layer just to have it there. If you insert a new object, all going to come on this one. Now we're going to go to basically end the basic section. We're going to go and show you how to save this file. Let's say this is the final file that you are happy with and you want to save it. All you need to do is go to File and basically on Save As. You click on Save As. It will basically give you an option of saving it as a Photoshop format, which at this moment you can see other stuff. At this moment we would want to keep it as a JPEG. We call it Robert De Niro 1 as JPEG. I'll save it on my desktop and save. Then it would ask me about the image options, the quality of it. We'll keep it at 12, which is the maximum, and the baselines are standard. We go ahead and we create, and we saved it on our desktop. So here you go, the image of Robert De Niro is actually saved. Now let's move on to the intermediate and see what else can we learn from there. Fantastic. Moving on to the intermediate side, we basically, just a quick recap, we have opened up this file that I got from Google. We actually created 3 layers for them. One is your predominant background, and the other one is just a copy of the background and just an empty layer there. Now, what I'm going to do in the intermediate one for you, I want to select and basically play around with the background and show you how you can select, cut, and deselect some of the items from a Photoshop file that you have. First thing first, we will come and select the second layer. Now you can actually see how you can play around with the view of these options. Now I would go ahead and basically select the second layer. I want to basically get rid of the background and have some sort of a Robert De Niro's head on a transparent sort of a background for me. Now I can do this in different in two different ways. One is the cut tool effect that I can actually come. The lasso tool, I can basically select the lasso, or the magnetic one that basically based on the different contrast, color contrast, it would start cutting the image itself. I would go and zoom into this a bit so you can exactly see how things would work. You basically click and it would start getting the lines kind of on a contrast based, and it would basically get the elements out of there. You'll get a basically idea of how this tool would work. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I would basically show you the easier way that I have, and that's basically the reason that I chose this image of the dark background is the magic wand. You click on this and then the whole black area of the image is basically selected. So I'm gonna go ahead and press delete. Now on this side you can actually see the transparent stuff around his face. Now if I make this invisible, you can see how the image basically comes. Now when you have this, all you need to do is just press Command D, which would deselect this. You see some of the his stripes of his shirt is still on the file. So what you need to do is you basically go get the eraser. You can play with the size of the eraser. I'll make this a bit bigger. I'll come to the file and I would start erasing the stripes that I had basically there. This is again one of the very easy ways of moving around with a file. Now all you can see now is Robert De Niro's head. You have it here with absolutely no background. Yeah, you can move around with the size or even rotate it. You can either do that with the select items that you would have up there on the menu, or the easy way, which I use it, is the shortcut of Command T, which is the transform, and I can play around with the size of his head, or I can basically twist it, rotate it, and all the kind of stuff that you would have. In the advanced section, we will basically cover more details of how the fun parts basically start. Stay tuned. So wonderful. We are in the advanced and the last section of this tutorial. Now, if you have progress from basic to this stage, you know pretty much what has been going on. Now, if you are just a new person that has clicked on the advanced and you think you have kind of played around Photoshop before, just a quick recap is that we got the image of Robert De Niro that we got from Google. We have been playing around with it a bit, and I basically got rid of the background and his shirt, so we are basically left with his head. Now we want to start playing around with it. What we also need to kind of have in mind in terms of where the image stays in a sort of a file is its correspondent and link relation between the actual image and the rest of the layers that are existing in that file. To demonstrate that for you, I have also downloaded another file, which is basically sunglasses. I'll go ahead and open this. You see the same thing, so it basically goes through the exact same exercise that we have done before. I would need to create another one. All I need to do is just create the background, get rid of the background, and get rid of the rest of these elements on the corner there. I needed to deselect that. Fantastic. I'll get rid of these sides and this white area there, and I am left with this beautiful sunglasses. I'll take this to Robert De Niro's page. You can actually see that the new layer is added. I'll go and I would resize this I will put it on his face. And moving forward, I also need to put a body for him. So I have also downloaded another image, which are basically army gears. I would do the same exercise. I actually need this part only, so I would go and select him and created a new layer on this side. We'll get rid of this actually, or I can actually come back to this for the sake of time. I can just use this, go and basically paste it here, increase the size of this, and get rid of the background so you can see the transparency of it, and basically place this on his head. Um, Again, just to basically touch base on the fact that you can do a lot with Photoshop and the layers that you basically have in Adobe Suite. I'll show you what I have done, and you can basically see, kind of in a way, things that you can actually do are, great with Photoshop. This is my final image that I've created with Photoshop CS5, and I hope you guys enjoy this. We'll do a quick recap of things that we have done. So just a quick recap. Today we covered basics of how to open a file, create layers, save a file, also how to cut around an image with different tools, how to erase and clean up an image. Also we covered compilation of different elements, and finally creating a masterpiece. So I hope you have found this tutorial useful for your future Photoshop projects. And if you have any questions, please get in touch with me.